Hey guys, welcome to the daily analysis with Sir Gerard. So today will be very tricky again because why am I saying this is we are starting to look from the weekly time frame. So what do I see from the weekly time frame? When I zoom out the whole structure of gold, as you guys can see on my screen, it is a clearer vision of gold. Currently, price is playing at the weekly area. So this is actually my weekly support, but I am yet to wait for another confirmation of a weekly candle. So for it to be continuing bullish, I need price to be bullish in this zone. So as you guys can see, we are still having rates. So it's been 5 weeks in a row that gold has been on a downtrend if you're looking at the weekly time frame. So for me to confirm the change of the direction, number one, I need to make sure that price is respecting my weekly zone. Respecting my weekly zone means it should not close in a weekly time frame lower than 1690. Alright, so it would be playing in this zone, so we would be scalping the buys and the sells in this area. But for me, long term, looking at gold, of course, monthly time frame looks very bearish. But if price managed to close above, and next week if price managed to close as a bullish engulfing, we could see a bullish momentum coming back for gold, right? So this is going to be the weekly outlook for gold. So let's start looking at the daily time frame. So daily time frame for gold, these are the zones that I've sent to you guys yesterday, which I will also explain later. We are currently in a situation where daily is creating, or actually has created, an engulfing cell. So for it to retrace, it could, but it is more of a retracement rather than the main direction for the buy. Okay, so if I look at daily over here, there's nothing much that you can see rather than the weekly zones, because daily is honestly, there's nothing much happening over here. So let's start looking at the H4. So what do I see from the H4? As you guys know, yesterday was quite an intense day. Price was maybe around this area when I gave the daily analysis. Price reaches all the way to 1714, as I said, which was scenario number 2, I think. Scenario number 1 was price dropping down first and then taking the buy. But it did not happen like that. What happened is that it went all the way up, and then it broke all our buy zones, M15 zones, M15 and M20 zones. That is because that, look at this. If you guys look at this clearly, these are bigger time frame zones. You can actually see Headmaster M30 cell zone over there. And that is why that all the smaller time frames like M5, M15 or even M20 zones got broken easily by gold yesterday. Okay, so if you look at H4, we can be targeting that how much more can gold drop, right? So that's why we are trying to get the retracement for the buy, because if gold retrace, the first zone that it should go all the way up is it needs to come back into this purple zone. So this is the first area that it should retest, and it should make a decision whether if it's going to break above and come back into the zone to go further up, or making this purple zone as our level of resistance. So everything needs to be thoroughly looked through first before making any decision, because it's important that you look at confirmation when price is in the zone. So what do I mean by that is, if H4, if you look at H4 time frame up here and gold suddenly closes as, this is your first blue candle, right? So let's just say that the next candle is a bearish candle like this. So what do you see is price has created a bearish structure inside our resistance area. So it means that it is a stronger indication that this level has become our resistance level, where price could then drop further down. So this is just targets that I am having for gold. So just for you guys to understand that the gold movement has dropped so much that we could try and get the buys if we want, or if there is a sell setup, we would go for it. So either or, we are trading. The best zones should be up here. Okay, so mark these zones again: 1711, 1714. I mean, these are the H4 zones, and it's still a H2 zone that is still valid. And looking at the H2 right now, price has done a big momentum down. Candle tried to retrace further but did not manage to do that, and then we had three strong H2 candles. So I would say that a retracement might be coming anytime soon, but the question is from where, right? So our job is to get the best setup based on any time frames. If it's a M1, M30, or even H1, or even M20, we need to be trading by setups. So looking at price currently, let's start looking at the M30. For me, the M30 still looks quite unclear, because if you want to be trading over here, you could try and get the spike up, right? But that's only around 50-60 pips, so potentially that could work. So now let's look at M30. Where is the level of resistance? So level of resistance for M30 is going to be from this zone. So I'm going to mark this as my green zone, because if price retraces into this zone, I would say that if price closes as an M30 bearish candle, it could drop more. But in this moment, price has not created any confirmation yet. Okay, so now we're looking at the M20. We still have the same level of resistance from M20, but the only difference this time is that the zones are slightly smaller, because I would like to take this zone above and I want to make it as my M20 zone. So this could be our potential M20, this could be also our potential M30 zones. But look at this, look at the line that we have drew earlier. Price touched our line and continuing rejecting above. So I would say that if there is a potential buying zone anywhere around this area, and if it closes as an M15 or even if an M5 buy, we could give you guys the buy signal, right? So these are just the thoughts that's going through my mind when I do the analysis every single day. It's definitely a lot of effort to put into it, so that's why today I'm sending this video to you guys, so that you guys realize that there's a lot of things that is going through the mind of a trader before giving out a signal of a buy or a sell. So I hope you guys can learn something from this, and whatever questions that you guys have, please ask on the comments in Facebook or whatsoever, or even Instagram or even TikTok. You guys can reach out and we can try our best to help you guys. All right, so for now I'm looking at the M5 time frame. M5 time frame, the level of support that we currently can have is, I would say, I'm going to take this as my level of resistance. So for M5, I usually use this color so that I don't get confused. So let's just say this is my level of resistance, and currently what I can see from this is that, alright, perfecto. I am marking again my zones above here, and what I can see is that price definitely has rejected out from the zone, it actually made a breakout, and the confirmation for the M5 happened somewhere around this area. Alright, so I'm just gonna make a zone like this. So it's safer to actually close like this. So if price comes back into the zone and we might see rejection from the M5, it could be a scalping, or it could be a scalping opportunity for you guys. But remember, weekly zones has been taken, so I preferably would like to find for buys up into the H4 zones. Remember that the zones that I've sent to you guys earlier. So this zone above. So yeah, looking for the buys, and if there are selling zones, definitely I'll be aware of it as well. So these are M30, M20 selling zones, these are M5 selling zones. So there's always setups every single places, but it's important for you guys to decide on where to take the best setup for the higher risk, for the high chance of winning. Okay, so that's it for gold. And for the M5 currently, there isn't much of a buy. There was only a sell that's over here. So let's monitor these zones above, and I really want price to retrace all the way up, at least coming back into this first zone where it broke all our M5, M15 and M20 zones. And if this zone is being respected, it might drop from this area. But if it's just going to retrace all the way up, it should retest our purple zone first. Alright, so this is our strategy for today, and I'll keep you guys updated on the signals, and thank you guys for watching.